IB has more of a broad international scope, and AP is just really detailed and more of a learn everything you possibly can kind of attitude.
You're going to make enemies of the Moldovans? Do they have nuclear weapons? Does anybody know?
No, they're just live on farms and drink wine. That's all they do.
Cool. So they'll be all right with this video?
Yeah. Well, plus, okay, well, what is the difference, like, in your opinion, between... Wait, you don't teach AP, do you? Do you teach AP?
What? No.
Okay, so what is the difference between, like, RIB curriculum with, like, History of the Americas and, like, regular
versus
junior?
U.S. history?
Yeah.
Oh, your class is way easier.
But, like, what... Is there an emphasis difference between...
Why, yes. In the IB program, we learn a lot about the region. So we're learning tremendous amounts of information about Latin America, our neighbors to the south, and we're also learning a little bit about Canada. Oh, Canada. Yes, that country to the north of us. That rather large country to the north of us. And I would say, this year in particular, junior year, we cover 1400s up to 1900. We stop at the 20th century. And as I said, it's more of a regional emphasis. But next year, as seniors, you cover the 20th century, and it's a more international emphasis. Whereas in the regular class, the focus is, 90% of the time we're talking about U.S. history, 10% of the time we're talking about other countries, but it's mostly because of wars, treaties, involvement with other countries and alliances, that kind of thing. It's just a different perspective.
I think for the most part at Shawnee Mission East, when you come into high school, you either take regular or honors level classes as a freshman or sophomore. And once you get to be a junior, we have a college preparatory track. So essentially the classes that you take while you're in high school are the equivalent of what freshman level introductory classes would be. In fact, they can replace college level options. And at Shawnee Mission East, we have two tracks. One track is the advanced placement track. The advanced placement track is governed out of somebody called the College Board, and it's out of the East Coast in the United States. It's synonymous only with and recognized only by the United States universities. And the students take a class. There's a highly prescribed curriculum, not a whole lot of variance in what the teachers can teach. It is very content-oriented, very content-specific. At the end of the year, students take a one-day exam. That exam usually consists of a multiple-choice component and some kind of an essay-based component, depending on what the subject is. And those exams are evaluated by U.S. teachers over the summer, and if the students score a specific score, they are usually able to use that in place of an introductory level college class. The second track that we have that does basically the same thing starting your junior year is the International Baccalaureate track. The International Baccalaureate track is kind of the best of best curriculum practices from all over the world. So it's really a college preparatory track that was put together by international educators. There's a lot more variance in what the teachers can teach in IB. There might be, let's say, 14 themes in history that have to be covered, and maybe the teacher only has to cover 8. Or there might be thousands of choices of books that the English teachers can select, and they get to pick, based on certain criteria, what novels that they want to teach. The IB program is really a 2-year program. It's a concurrency of learning, so they kind of combined together what you learn your junior, senior year into one program. You also can receive college credit and great college preparation for this, and students are evaluated in a much more project-oriented, broad-based way. Essentially, the teachers predict what grades that they think the students will get, so the teachers have some input in the students' capabilities. The students do projects in all the different subjects that they participate in for IB, and those projects are sent to be graded. And then they actually take papers, what we in the United States know as exams, often more than one paper or exam per subject matter. And so you have a very comprehensive snapshot of the student in order to evaluate kind of their competency and their progress. Generally in AP, if you get it wrong, they take points away from you. IB tends to subscribe to a theory that's more, they look for what you do know about the subject and give you points for what you do know. AP is graded by U.S. teachers only within the United States. In IB, everything has boxed up and sent all over the world and is evaluated more based on rubrics and, again, looking for evidence of what you do know by people all over the world.
The difference is AP classes move a lot faster and there's a lot more work to do.
I mean, all my friends take AP classes and they talk about like the workload that they have, and we have a lot of our curriculums are completely different, so it's hard to compare sometimes. But I know we have things outside of class for AP kids. They do their curriculum and then the tests, but we have things like external assessments and internal assessments that go beyond our classwork. So I think that's one of the key differences that we have between AP and IB. But yeah.
I guess AP is like, you go through a lot less information, but it's a lot more specific. And then IB is just, you cover a broader range of topics, but it's just kind of like an overview of all of it, I guess.